What's up, guys? This is my first video, right? This is my first video, and I just want to have an open, honest talk. I want to have an open and honest discussion. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Tyrus Burton. I'm a senior accounting major so far. I've done 2 internships, and I played college football for about 2 years. People tell me I'm on the right track, right, to become successful, but I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and this is what I want to talk about with you guys or whoever's watching. That is the only thing I care about, right? Right now in my life, like the only thing I care about, the only thing that matters to me is becoming successful and getting to that point, right? And I'm not talking about like the influencer successful where I have the Miami mansion or the Ferraris or the Lamborghinis. I'm talking about like financial freedom and peace and stability and comfort, right? And I'm in a great position right now. Like my apartment I live in is paid for. I have no crazy bills. I have no crazy debt. I got a little bit of school debt, but it just doesn't seem like enough until I get to that point, right? And that's a scary thing. I don't know when it will be enough for me. I don't know if I can enjoy these times, right? And not saying I don't enjoy myself. Like I have a good time doing nothing, honestly. Like I can sit in my room all day and it's been a good day. It's kind of awkward, right? I've done a few internships. I've done 2 internships in the past. I've worked a lot. I saved a lot of money. I spent a lot of money. It's things that I enjoy, of course, right? I enjoy just relaxing. I enjoy sitting in my room and playing my game or watching YouTube or scrolling on TikTok. I know it's not the greatest, but I enjoy playing basketball. I enjoy, being active and being out in the world. But none of it feels like enough until I make it, right? But the thing that's getting to me is the fact that my daily life doesn't really reflect that goal, right? My grades are good. My resume looks good. I've had multiple internships. I got a lot of job experience, like within the field as well, and I have more internships to come. But it doesn't feel like I'm really actively becoming the person I want to become each day, and this could be a lack of foresight, right? I can't predict the future, but like each day it doesn't feel like that 1% better each day, right? And that's what I hear constantly. Like you get 1%, you got to get 1% better each day, 1% better each day. But like the things that I'm doing don't really feel like they're putting me towards that. Even though they may, right? Just going to class and doing my work, that might be putting me towards that goal, but it just doesn't feel like it. I've been doing a lot of things that I think is good for me, right? I've read a few books. I've read Atomic Habits. I've read I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. I've read How Successful People Think. Well, I'm in the process of reading that, and I have a few more books up there that I plan on reading. I've went to the gym and lost a little bit of weight. I plan to lose more. I'm pretty active. I usually go play basketball, or I play pickleball a few times recently, but mainly I just go play basketball. I walk. I'm pretty active in life, I guess. Like I don't do something every single day. Maybe that'll help me. But like I don't go to the gym every single day anymore. But deep down, it still feels like I'm not really moving closer to that goal that I have for myself, like a financial freedom. But I don't know if it's anything I can do about it. It's kind of a weird space to be in, right? When everything looks good on paper, but you don't feel fulfilled in your everyday life. Like I don't feel like I'm prospering each day. I don't feel like I'm getting that 1% better each day. And I don't know if that's the truth of life. Like, do you feel like you're getting 1% better? Like, do you physically feel it, or is it just an occurrence of your action? Like, is it just a happenstance, right? Like, and it kind of makes me question, right? Am I getting stuck in that hustle culture mindset? Like, I don't feel valuable about myself unless I'm working towards something extremely big, or I feel like I'm working towards something extremely big, or should I enjoy my day to day, like the mundane days where some days I just don't have much to do, right? What it kind of feels like is like I realize I'm not lazy, but I do drift. Like I just drift, I do enough to stay afloat and to get by, but I don't do enough to really live. I don't do enough to really enjoy each day. It's kind of a weird dynamic. Like it seems like nobody really talks about this aspect. It's always one side of the spectrum or the other. Either you're failing or you're doing amazing. No one really talks about like when you're not failing, but you're also not overly succeeding. When you're not failing, but you're also not constantly growing. At least it feels that way. Of course, I have to nuance all this whole discussion with it just feels that way, right? Because in all reality, I'm working towards a bachelor's, I'm working towards a CPA, I've graduated from junior college with my associates. Like I've got internships and I got internships coming up. Like I am working towards something, but it just doesn't feel like that internally each day. And that's what I've been trying to change, honestly. Like I've been trying to get into the habit of going to the gym more every day. I still haven't really mastered it, if I'm being honest. I try to get into the habit of reading every day and journaling. I was going well with it for a while, but the past few days I really haven't. Like I lost the interest for it, if I'm being honest. And it's hard. It was difficult to stay disciplined in things that don't seem to push you forward. That don't feel like it's pushing you forward. But I guess that's the whole point of discipline. What do I really want to do to change this though, right? What can we do to help ourselves? What are some actions we can take? What are some steps we can take? I think I wrote down about 5 actions that we can take. One is building 2 habits that you can track over time, right? One habit for me was the reading I think it was 10 pages each day. And I want to build a habit of going to the gym again, right? But I think those 2 will help me because it'll allow me to track my success, right? I think when I'm not tracking stuff, it doesn't feel like anything is getting done, right? So I plan on spending a few minutes each day to try to keep up with that the best of my ability. Like I said, I fell off. I'm being completely honest. This is an open, honest conversation. I fell off with my reading over the past week, but you never lose, right? You never lose if you never quit. Like you can take a break, but if you don't completely stop, you never lose. Think about that for any aspect of your life. You can always pick something back up, right? Number two is setting a daily minimum. This is the minimum you can do to feel productive, right? I think this will be extremely helpful for me because I'm a all or nothing type of person. I've noticed in these kind of situations, if I can't do it to the top peak, I don't want to do it at all, right? But I need to give myself grace. I need to give myself a minimum, right? So I can just stay consistent instead of being perfect. I can stay on track instead of I just want to stay consistent, right? And having a daily minimum will help me stay consistent, help you stay consistent, whoever's watching this. But it could be something as small as, okay, I have to walk 10,000 steps a day. That's my minimum. I have to make my bed. That's a minimum. I have to, whatever it could be, right? Whatever is your minimum is your minimum. But setting a daily minimum will allow me, I think, to continue to grow. I think also, right, back to the journaling aspect, right, I wanted to continue to grow into journaling. One thing I think will help me is writing down a goal for the week, or at the end of the week, writing down the things that I accomplished, right? Because day to day, it doesn't feel like you've done much, right? But at the end of the week, you can sit down and reflect and look over your notes and understand, okay, I actually did do stuff this week. I actually did do stuff productive. Like last week, I actually did do a virtual interview. I actually did talk with one of my mentors. I actually did go to the gym. I actually did read my books. You know what I'm saying? But you lose sight of that. You lose sight of that every day that you don't do it, right? You forget about the days you did do it on the days you don't, right? So I think keeping that in mind going forward will help me tremendously. Number four, I think it'd be great for me to write this out, right? To have like a vision board or even my little whiteboard. I can put it on my whiteboard and have my my end goal in sight each day, right? Instead of me having to consistently think about, okay, I'm doing this for this reason. It'll just be there, right? The goal will be right there, and I won't have to consistently think about it each day, because some days you just don't do anything, right? Some days, like the most you do that day is cook you dinner or something like that. Like that's that hustle culture mindset in my mind that every single day has to be productive. Every single day you have to be doing 100 calls, getting on 100 Zooms and researching it. Like every single day, it doesn't have to be that way. And I got to realize that for myself. Number 5, I think this is the most important thing for me specifically, is playing the long game, right? This is the hardest part. Everything doesn't have to happen right now. And I have to understand that, and I have to accept that. Everything is not going to happen right now. Everything is not going to happen in the next week. Everything is not going to happen in the next month or even in the next year. I know it will happen. I plan on it happening, and it will happen, but it's not going to happen right now. And I have to understand that, and I have to give life grace. I have to give myself grace to understand that it takes time, right? I'm a I need it now type of person, and I have to slow myself down and understand things take time. This, like something, especially something special like being successful, takes time, and you can't rush it, right? So I just have to understand that. So I guess to wrap up this conversation, that's what I've been thinking about, right? I care about success more than anything else, especially right now. All I care about is being successful, owning my own accounting firm with multiple branches, owning a private equity firm, being financially free, being free with my time, being free with my living situation. Like that's all I care about, having peace of mind, right? So of course this discussion doesn't end all. This isn't the end all be all. This isn't going to stop me from consistently thinking about it, right? But this will help me structure my thoughts. This will be something for me to come back and look back on once a few years down the line, or even a few months down the line, after I completed my third internship, or next when I'm about to graduate. This would be a great thing for me to look back on when I graduate, to see if I'm in the same mind state. I just have to learn for myself that success isn't just one big jump, right? It'll be tiny things or small things throughout the year that build you that way. It won't be something every single day, right? And I got to get out of that mindset that if you didn't overperform today, you're a failure. If you didn't do it every day, you're a failure, right? Because somebody can do it every day for 3 months, and you could do it every other day for 2 years. You're more consistent in the long run. You know what I mean? But if you're feeling the same way, just know you're not alone. It's other people like you out here in this world, me specifically, me talking to you. Hopefully this reaches the right person. Hopefully this reaches the right people. Hopefully. But if you're feeling like this, you're not alone. Just remember this is the cliche, man, but stay patient and stay consistent. Consistency doesn't have to be every single day. It could be every other day for 2 years versus every day for 3 months, right? You're still consistent. Just stay consistent. Keep at it.